Atiku should accept tribunal judgment for larger interests of Nigeria's democracy. Chief Anthony Sani, ex-Arewa Consultative Forum scribe, says, can you imagine? So Obi and Atiku should accept the tribunal judgment, Abi, because for your mind, it is normal and it looks good. These are old people that are making Nigeria suffer what is suffering. On what premise are you going to accept a fraudulent election and a fraudulent tribunal judgment? Everything about the election and the judgment is fraudulent. And so what these guys are doing is to establish that Nigeria is a fraudulent country from beginning to the top. That is it. And then once that is done, everybody can go to bed. And it's established and documented for reference. That is it. Now, wow. So Chief Anthony Sani says this with our experiences in democracy for 24 years. Most Nigerians would oppose any coup. Who told you? What is happening in Niger? They have been in democracy for so long, and now everybody is accepting the coup because of the failure of the democratic leaders. That is it. Former Secretary General of Arewa Consultative Forum and member of the 2014 National Conference, Mr. Anthony Sani, has advised the duo of the presidential candidate of the Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and his Labour Party counterpart, Mr. Peter Obi, to accept their loss at the tribunal for the larger interests of Nigerian democracy. In this interview with Noah Ebije in Kaduna, Mr. Sani argued that the Supreme Court judgment may not be different from the tribunal judgment, and as such, both Atiku and Obi should join hands with Tinubu to move the nation forward. We hear you. The former Arewa Consultative Forum scribe also spoke on the possibility or not of coup in Nigeria, saying that with the advent of GSM in the country, which helps people to overcome time and distance in terms of communication, it will make plans for a coup very difficult to take place in the country, obviously. So he also spoke on Japa syndrome, saying that when the economy is revamped, the syndrome will vanish. Okay, and now they ask him another question here. What is your reaction to the tribunal judgment on the presidential election? That's the question they asked him, and he said the presidential elections tribunal judgment was broadcast live for people to see in order to dispel misconceptions. The tribunal disabused people's mind by explaining that electoral offenses are criminal offenses which must be proved beyond reasonable doubt. That is to say, those who asserted should prove the allegations, and the proof have to be from polling unit, which documents are the primary documents. To me, the judgment mimicked the Supreme Court of America, which said in the case by Trump on the election of 2020 that by saying the elections were rigged did not make it so. The judgment also explained that all Nigerians are equal before the Constitution. To imagine that scoring at least 25% in FCT is mandatory for presidential candidate to emerge winner is to submit that electoral value of voters in FCT is over and above those in 36 states. The Constitution does not envisage such variation in electoral values across the country. The justices in the Election Petition Tribunal made Nigerians to understand that Bola Tinubu is not a convict in America, and that even if he was convicted, it is more than 10 years, and so time barred. The PDP presidential candidate Abubakar Atiku and the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi said they are appealing against the tribunal judgment to the Supreme Court. Will it make any difference? It is the right of Atiku and Obi to appeal the judgment by Presidential Election Tribunal if they have strong reasons to do so. Such approach can enrich the quality of our democracy that thrives on rule of law, a majority that has both its say and way, while the minority only has its say but no way. So, is there rule of law in Nigeria? From what I saw and read of the judgment, it does not appear the petitioners can prevail in the appeal. I therefore plead with them to play VP Al Gore in the case between him and George Bush about the dispute in Florida. So if their appeals fail, when the Supreme Court did not favor Mr. VP Albert Al Gore, he said even though he did not agree with the judgment, he accepted it in the larger interest of American democracy and its institution. That is what most Nigerians expect from them, I hear. So this is exactly what you are saying that Nigerians should do. Okay, so this Mr. Anthony is saying that Atiku and Obi should not go to the Supreme Court for the judgment. They should accept it the way it is because it's not going to make any difference. Have you? All of you have agreed just because you think you are giving other statesmen advice now, Abi? Yes, they don't agree. They don't agree. They have a right to appeal the tribunal judgment, and that is what exactly that they want to do, to appeal the tribunal judgment. So I'll let them be allowed to, to satisfy themselves. Let them take it up to Supreme Court, and let the Supreme Court say that they are upholding the tribunal judgment, and then we'll rest it there. What it signifies is that the judiciary has finished Nigeria. And like I used to say, what we are seeing is judiciary joining hand with the legislators and the executive and the INEC and so many other institutions to wreck Nigeria completely. Dishonesty at all levels, cheating at all levels, bribery and corruption at all levels, and just name it, all evil vices that can kill a nation is what we have seen now thriving and legitimized under this administration. Quite unfortunate. It's really quite unfortunate. Yes, they don't agree. Let them appeal it. Let nobody discourage them. Let nobody discourage them. Let nobody discourage them. Somebody is saying here, we don't need their acceptance. Atiku and Mr. Bajue, as Professor Wole Soyinka said, should go ahead with their lies and self-deceiving. Okay, so the question, that is the problem. Wole Soyinka is a professor that has proven his level of tribal bigotry. Okay, now who can be more Bajue than the APC? You are calling Peter Obi and Labour Party Bajue. Who can be more Bajue? Who can be more cheating than the APC and their candidates and their cohorts in this country? Nobody. So it's quite unfortunate that people have very short memory, very short-sighted, and right now can accept anything that comes hook, line, and sinker. Quite unfortunate. It is terribly very bad. So Mr. Anthony Sani is saying that Peter Obi and Atiku should not go to the Supreme Court. They should accept the tribunal judgment the way it is for the interest of the nation. The people that rigged the election, do they have the interest of the nation at heart? That's a question that I will throw to you. The tribunal and INEC that have also joined hand to maintain the rigging of the election, do you think they have the interest of the nation at heart, or is their tribal sentiment they are trying to satisfy? Tribal and party sentiments and bigotry is what they're trying to satisfy. Selfishness has been the bane of Nigerian politics and democracy. That is the problem. Quite unfortunate. It is a state Nigeria has slided into, and I wonder how we're going to be saved. Thank you for listening. Let's have your comment.